Can Iowa win 10 games this 2025 season? They went 8-5 last year. They were tied for 5th in the Big Ten, and they lost the Music City Bowl by a possession to Missouri. And that was a theme with Iowa last year, losing games by 1 possession. Very un-Iowa, very un-Brycen and Kirk Ferentz dynasty. But it happens when you finally get an offense and the defense takes a little bit of a step back because they can't sustain their talent year over year. And the schedule and style of play and the travel kind of shake things up a bit. It was a year of adjustment for Iowa. And Kirk Ferentz mentioned at Media Days how it seems like the only constant in football ever since he's been at Iowa is change. But Iowa has a chance to take advantage of this change. So they're plus 3,600 to win the Big Ten, which is higher and better odds than Illinois, Indiana, and I don't know about Nebraska, but I know for sure Illinois and Indiana off the top of my head, it's better odds than those teams, which is impressive. A lot of people are hyping up Illinois this year, and I think Indiana should be a good team. Playoff odds are plus 730. With this schedule, if they were to go 10-2, they would certainly be in. Week 1, you got UAlbany at home. Week 2, you travel to the Big 12 runner-up Iowa State, who went 11-3. They'll definitely be ranked at the time of that game. Week 3, you get UMass at home. Week 4, Rutgers on the road. Week 5, likely a ranked Indiana at home. Before we resume this segment, please take a few seconds of your time to make sure you have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and for any team podcasts and playlists linked in the description, and also comment your thoughts down below in the comment section and join my Discord server via the description. All of those things I just asked you to do are completely free, and they sign you up for things related to my channel, or they don't sign you up for anything. No cost to you, and all the benefit to you because we release daily college football content here on College Football with Sam. If you want to support the channel monetarily, sign up for a YouTube membership, or check any other links in the description for my merchandise store and Patreon page. Thank you very much, and let's get back to the segment. Then you go on a bye week in week 6. Then you travel to Wisconsin in week 7. You host Penn State at home in week 8. Host rival Minnesota at home week 9 for the Floyd of Rosedale. Off the week 10 bye, you host Oregon. Getting Oregon off of a bye and hosting them in November, that is a game I am excited to see, especially if Iowa's good. You play at USC week 12, host Michigan State week 13, and travel to rival Nebraska for the Heroes game in week 14. There are enough competent teams, so in my power ratings, I view Nebraska, USC, Oregon, Penn State, and Indiana as top 25 teams. If Iowa goes 10-2, you're getting some quality wins on top of beating all the teams you should beat. So you'd be in the playoffs. Can this happen, though? Is it realistic? Well, I'm going to side with, as you saw when I pulled up the schedule in my analysis in Iowa, that it's very, very unlikely. I think 9-3 is their best possible outcome, or at least the best possible outcome that I can see. That's margin isn't thinner than a coin, a penny, a quarter, a dime. The realistic ceiling, I think, is 8-4, but 8-4 after last year's 8-4 season with what I think is a tougher schedule would be very impressive. They could go 4-8 or 3-9, though. They could. They have a wide range of outcomes. That's why I'm entertaining this right here. Is, look, if Gronowski, and Gronowski last year was impressive with South Dakota State. Mark Gronowski, if he is healthy, if he connects with these receivers, if he can run the ball, and Iowa can also run the ball with their running backs, and he's well protected, consistently in his career, he got sacked at most 18 times. And in 3 out of his 4 seasons playing for South Dakota State, he only got sacked 10 times or fewer. 23 touchdowns last year, 7 interceptions, a 146.9 passer rating, 3D rushing yards and 10 touchdowns, and outside of last season, he had a 150 passer rating or better in his career every year. Tim Lester enters year 2. Kirk Ferentz himself, and I thought this was obvious before Ferentz even said it, exclaimed how this is the best Iowa quarterback room overall, not just starter, that he has had in a long, long time. So if quarterback pans out, running back reloads, maybe in not the 100% reload sense, but in the sense that the run game had more to do with the offensive line than people think, or Kamari Moulton or Jason Patterson are just that good. The offensive line, they return Logan Jones, Bo Steffens, Leighton Jones, Gennings Dunker. Some started, some were at the second stringers. Addison Ostrenga comes back at tight end. And then the defense, which I'm a little bit lower on this defensive backfield. I have questions about it. I think it's going to be one of the worst DB and linebacker units, defensive backfield units, under Phil Parker in recent memory. And the wide receivers obviously have questions. But if all those areas are highly negative, say that Xavier Nwankpa plays to his 5-star caliber out of high school, All-American, say that TJ Hall or Deshaun Lee play to a very high level, one of the linebackers steps up, the defensive line with Max Llewellyn and Ethan Hurkett produce a better pass rush than last year, and I think they will be able to get to the quarterback and stop the run with Aaron Graves in the middle. If all those things, if lightning in a bottle, or maybe not lightning in a bottle, that would probably be the wide receivers all of a sudden being phenomenal on top of everything else. If a lot goes their way, small odds of it happening, but it's possible, they will be a better team than everyone they play except for Oregon, Penn State, and maybe Indiana, USC, and Nebraska. And none of those teams, Indiana, USC, and Nebraska, are guaranteed to be top 25 teams this year. They're all power rated around there, but they could be worse than that, could be better. If everything goes right for Iowa that I just mentioned, you're probably looking at a top 20, top 15 power rated team. And at that point, I would say, look, they could go 10-2. And they could make the playoffs. I would not pick Iowa to go 10-2, far from it. 58% returning production could be a bit of a red flag. They're 28th in preseason S&P+. They're lower in 2025 than they were in the 2024 FPI. And their Big Ten Conference schedule, by my own analysis, is the second toughest, only behind Wisconsin. However, if they start off hot, if they're blowing people out, if the defense, because the defense last year was obvious fairly early that they had some issues. If it's obvious early on, especially since Rutgers and Indiana have good receivers, if they can lock them down and then produce on offense, well, that Penn State and that Oregon game don't look like possible upsets. Those look like the 2021 Penn State-Iowa matchup, where that was viewed as a matchup potentially for the college football playoff. Didn't end up being that way. That's what it was viewed at the time. And it's easier now more than ever to get into the playoffs because, well, the number of spots tripled. Went from 4 to 12, and probably next year, or maybe not next year, but eventually it'll probably go to 16. So it'll be quadrupled from the original 14 playoff and octupled from the initial BCS. So can Iowa win 10 games this year? I wouldn't pick it, but I'm going to be the devil's advocate and go against my own previous ceiling and say that yes, if Gronowski immediately fits into Lester's offense like a hand into a glove, if the offensive line reloads, if they step up a little bit at wide receiver and tight end, and if Parker can find a way to fix the DB room, improve it from last year, and if linebacker can come close to reloading than we think, if they get on the side of winning close games again, and they have the special teams, the kicker, the returner, all those things to do it, then actually, you know what? It's very unlikely, but yeah, I'd say they could win 10 games. Thank you for watching College Football with Sam. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and team playlists and podcasts in the description, joined the free Discord server where we talk college football 24/7, and have commented your thoughts down below. Check out the description for any ways you can support the channel monetarily. Everything else I've asked you to do is completely free, and your support means the world to me. We're trying to become the next big thing on college football YouTube. 6-figure subscribers, maybe 1 million one day. I think we can do that. And also check out any videos or playlists, anything in these columns right here, where there will be videos and playlists. Yeah, you get the point. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.